Shedinja has historically not been a great Pokémon in competitive. In singles it is always ranked in the lowest tiers possible. Although in VGC it did have its uses. However, despite this, Shedinja has had numerous successful niches in both the higher tiers in competitive singles, and it has some very high placements in VGC as well. Today we will be exploring how this overall terrible Pokémon has managed to find success in both the OU and Ubers tiers in singles, and its several high level placements in VGC tournaments. Shedinja has several unique traits that makes it stand out. Shedinja is the only bug ghost type in the franchise, the only Pokémon with exact 1 HP, and it has the signature ability Wonder Guard, so this Pokémon can only be hit by super effective hits and passive damage. This is arguably the best ability in the franchise, and would be broken if it wasn't for the fact that Shedinja only has 1 HP. This is the main reason that Shedinja has not been very good historically, as it has many weaknesses that can hit it and it dies instantly by taking hazard, weather or status damage. But this unique ability gave it several niches, with the first actually being a niche in its debut generation in Gen 3 Ubers. Shedinja has no chance in Gen 3 OU because Tyranitar and its infinite Sandstorm as well as Spikes dominate the tier, so at best Shedinja would have one turn to do anything, basically putting you in a 5v6 scenario. In the Ubers tiers however, there is no Tyranitar to be seen. Shedinja is actually quite good in the Ubers tier, as it is ranked a B+ in the viability rankings, and players actually have to keep it in mind when making a team, so calling it a niche is underestimating its impact. Shedinja's ability and typing allows to easily beat many of the top threats in the Ubers metagame, like Kyogre, the Lottie Twins and Mewtwo that lacks Fire Blast. Not only can those Pokémon not hit it, but Shedinja can strike back with a super effective Shadow Ball, with the exception of course being Kyogre. Shedinja can also use Sword Stance to make it even more threatening, and it can use Protect to scout out any potential move on the opponent that it may have to take it out. To make Shedinja work, you do however need a Kyogre or Groudon on your team to change the weather, and a Rapid Spinner to get rid of potential spikes. With the lack of Tyranitar and Ghost types, Sandstorm and Spikes are not that big of a problem, giving Shedinja a safer environment than the OU tier. Shedinja does need to be wary of Toxic, which could take it out in one hit, but it could use Lumberry to circumvent this for one time. Metagross is however a hard counter to Shedinja, as it can switch in and guarantee a KO on it with Pursuit. Shedinja has also been able to find a niche in the Gen 4 Ubers tier. It still had no chance in OU with the presence of Tyranitar, but in Ubers, Shedinja was once again a great counter to the powerful Kyogre, the Lottie Twins and Mewtwo, as well as Dialga and Palkia. Shedinja also gained a few buffs like Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, Will-O-Wisp and X-Scissor, and it could now use Focus Sash to survive one hit. However, Shedinja had a much harder time with Stealth Rock being on every team. Before Platinum this was manageable as Ghost types were not that common, so Rapid Spinners had more opportunities. But with the introduction of Giratina Origin, Shedinja's niche fell out of favor, as Giratina Origin was a very common Pokémon in the tier, so using Rapid Spin became quite difficult. The dominance of Darkrai and the rise of Heatran did also not help it out either, but its niche still stands. Shedinja also found itself on some teams in Gen 4 VGC. It actually was used in a team that placed second in VGC 2009 and managed to win a 1v3 in one of those matches. It was also featured in 2 VGC 2010 tournaments because Kyogre was everywhere and it countered several other legendaries. Aside from that, I couldn't really find anything about it and what it exactly was supposed to do, but those are some notable uses nonetheless. Shedinja also found a niche in VGC 2012, but I will be real and say that the only information I could find on it was a thread on Smogon explaining what it was using and good teammates for it. I was unable to find gameplay or what it actually was supposed to be countering, but I'm just gonna take a guess and say it could wall certain common strong Pokémon with its Wonder Guard ability. Shedinja got used quite a bit in Gen 7 VGC. It found itself on numerous high placing teams and was especially very potent in VGC 2019. In Gen 7, Shedinja gained access to the move Ally Switch, which is a priority move that switches the position of Shedinja with that of its ally Pokémon. This allowed Shedinja to easily save any super effective hit targeted at its teammate, and since the powerful Uber Pokémon were allowed, they could use that opportunity to strike back with a strong counter-attack. This created insane mind games as you can imagine, especially with Shedinja also being able to use Protect. Not to mention it could use Focus Sash to leave a guaranteed hit. Two of the top Pokémon, Kyogre and Xerneas, also lacked moves to hit it, making Shedinja even more potent. As a result, Shedinja has seen many great placements in VGC, and I would say that this is probably the best it has ever been in competitive Pokémon. Lastly, in Generation 8, Shedinja also had several niches. For the first time it had a niche in the OU tier on hard stall teams. With heavy duty boots being added in Gen 8, Shedinja could now freely switch in on hazards, giving it way more opportunities to do something. Infinite Sandstorm was also a thing of the past, so it didn't have to worry about that either, especially with Tyranitar not being that common anymore. Shedinja was also an excellent counter to Tapu Lele, which is one, if not the best stall breaker in Gen 8, and it was also a great counter to the Future Sight plus Teleport strat. A great way to break through stall teams was with a combination of Future Sight plus a threatening physical attack, in most cases a fighting type like Urshifu. With this, Urshifu could break through would-be counters like Toxapex, which was a stall staple, and after that the team would easily crumble. However, Shedinja does not care about both Future Sight and Urshifu and could switch in with ease. Against other Future Sight combos, it could use Protect to scout out a potential super effective hit and take Future Sight after. Shedinja could spread status with Toxic and Will-O-Wisp after a free switch and use Hex to hit those Pokémon for good damage, so it didn't have to worry about Rocky Helmet or Ferrothorn either. Shedinja did have to be wary of the common Toxic and knockoff though. Shedinja was also once again used in Ubers on stall teams. Shedinja could completely shut down threats like Kyogre, Zygarde Complete and Xerneas and spread status as well. However, Shedinja does get easily shot down by many of the top Pokémon, especially the big three being Yveltal, Necrozma, Duskmane and Eternatus, as well as Calyrex Shadow, Marshadow and Rayquaza. Shedinja yet again had a niche in VGC as well. It had some placements in Series 12, but aside from that I couldn't find any other placements. From what I did find, Shedinja was a great answer to Zacian plus Kyogre teams, which were very popular at the time, and it completely walls Regieleki and Calyrex Ice as well. Not to mention Ally Switch was still a thing. However, Shedinja did have many poor matchups against common Pokémon like Incineroar, Calyrex Shadow and Yveltal. As you can see, despite Shedinja being overall not a great Pokémon, it had numerous niches across the generations and found great success in most of them too. Let me know in the comments what you think about Shedinja, and like and subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. Thank you for watching and see you next time.